Let's go over the ground rules of the podcast. Rule number 1, no touching of the hair or face. Now, let's do this. All right, good morning, good evening, wherever you are, and welcome to episode 41 of the Cloudcast. We are coming to you from the basement of a butcher shop in San Diego as we prepare to pick the finest cuts of bacon for some of the social media events going on at Cisco Live next week. With me, we've got a panel of distinguished, to some extent, people that will all be at Cisco Live, and we decided to do something a little bit fun this time. We get a lot of requests from people to kind of understand what happens at some of the large events, what happens behind the scenes, kind of the stuff that doesn't happen in PR. And so today we've got Fred Nix, Chief Morale Officer from EMC.
Hey-o!
We've got Amy Lewis, social media maven and guru here from Cisco.
Yo.
Freya Berg, social media guru, marketing guru from NetApp.
She's here.
Hi.
Hey, Freya, speak up. We've got Vanessa Alvarez, analyst from Forrester.
Hey, this is Freya.
Oh, hey, Freya. Hey, Vanessa.
Hi.
And at some point, we're going to get Colin McNamara on once one of us figures out the technology to get him back on the show. So at some point, Colin McNamara will be on as well, a friend of the show, as well as guy who none of us can figure out why he's constantly trying to lose another 30 pounds. So, folks, everybody... and Joe Onasek, longtime friend of the show. How you doing, man?
Very well, thank you.
Good to have you back on. Good. So, folks, first question. So, Cisco Live's being held in San Diego this year. That's not Las Vegas. So, what in the world do people do in San Diego? What are we going to expect, not at the show, but around and outside the show? What's going to go on at San Diego that's going to be fun?
Tijuana.
Bacon. Waffles.
Yeah. What else is going to go on in San Diego? You making a trip to the zoo?
It's going to be like a zoo. There's going to be good times. You can
Is the show being held outside since it never rains there?
I hope so.
You would hope so, right? I mean, there's got to be it's like keynote in the morning, beach in the afternoon?
Yeah, I saw John Chambers at Partner Summit in Hawaii, and he has these rocking linen suits, so I'm assuming he's going to bring it and hold his keynote outside.
Well, JC had promised that there would be no rain. We're just not sure which JC it was quite yet.
Hey, Colin.
You're live.
You're live on a big podcast of a lot of people. How are you?
Awesome. Doing well. How you guys doing?
We're good. We're
Whoop,
doing
whoop.
And this question should go to Colin because he spent real time in San Diego about what's happening in San Diego and will we be outside during Cisco Live?
Yeah, Colin, so the first question is, this show's not in Vegas. Nobody really knows what to do out in San Diego. You're a California guy. What do we do out there?
So, it's been 7 years in San Diego, a couple years as a Marine, and about 5 years as a functional adult. Proper thing to do in San Diego is learn how to properly relax. So, my favorite things to do out there, obviously, start the day, breakfast on the beach at Konos. Maybe drink all day at Der Kaiser House, right down the street from Cisco Live. So, in Ocean Beach, if anyone's decided to check out, it's not a bad place. Maybe surf a day at Tourmaline. It's definitely
anybody who goes surfing, please let us know at the at Cisco DC because we're going to come videotape that. Just FYI.
Fred, you want to go surfing?
Absolutely. I was going to jump in. I'll go with you.
Let's do it.
Hell yeah. Done.
All right, so we've got surfing. I assume that means shopping for wetsuits with Vanessa at some point prior to surfing.
We don't need no stinky wetsuits.
All right, so we've got surfing, we've got drinking, we've got extreme relaxation, and occasionally something in a building for Cisco Live. On this show, we tend to talk a lot about cloud computing. So you guys are all kind of coming from different backgrounds. Some of you are with technology vendors. You're going to be talking about what you're selling. Some of you are coming from analyst backgrounds. Some of you from systems integrators, and some of you are doing the social media thing. What do you expect to be the coolest kind of cloud computing thing at Cisco Live, or what do you expect the coolest thing for the attendees to do that may have something to do with cloud computing?
So if walking around the floor, the biggest thing that I'm seeing or expecting to see is a lot of discussion about OpenStack. I think if we look at what happened at EMC World this year, and they talk about different open source APIs and ability to create your own clouds, manage your own clouds, I think we'll be hearing a lot of that this year.
So that'll be a good thing. If you're out at Cisco Live, go look for Lou Tucker. Lou runs the OpenStack stuff at Cisco. like Colin mentioned, EMC made an announcement about OpenStack at EMC World. I know NetApp is a part of the OpenStack community. So go ask, as you go by those places, go by and ask those vendors about it. That'll be part of it. What else is interesting around cloud computing? And this could be video.
We have a whole cloud pavilion.
You got a cloud pavilion. What's going to go on at the cloud pavilion?
We've got all sorts of partners there. You can ask all kinds of questions.
Okay. Technology partners or business
Technology
partners?
partners, reselling partners, other sort of anybody who's feeling cloudy, all in one pavilion.
Okay. So one place to go. There'll be like a big
One-stop
cloud hanging over the
shop.
top of it or something like that?
There'll be a cloud, not in the negative way.
Okay. All right. So there's that going on. For folks that aren't going to Cisco Live, I assume they can use the cloud to watch live video streamed stuff?
They can be outside under the clouds, where
Okay.
we won't have any in
There are
San
no
Diego.
clouds. Yeah, there's no clouds in
No,
San Diego.
it's
That's
perfect.
what throws everybody off. I think that's the thing.
It's true, but yeah, they can see a lot of what's going on through Cisco Live 360.
Okay. All right.
You know, all kidding aside, I think this is really Cisco's coming out party. I think that they've been throwing around the term open for quite some time now, and I think we all know that Cisco is never synonymous with open, right? I think that's no hidden secret.
Yep.
So I think it's on Cisco to really prove itself out at Cisco Live. And it'll be interesting to see what they're actually doing with OpenStack.
Right.
I think a lot of the hardware vendors have been on the OpenStack bandwagon for a while now, and I think that it's really just architecture.
Yep.
So I'm excited to see what they're actually doing. You know, I think if they can pull it off, it'll be really good, but it's hard.
Yeah. So they made a big announcement about cloud last December, kind of their strategy. I know there's going to be some hints of announcements of software-defined networking and what that might mean at the show. So those are other sort of probably big data center specific things to go look at. So between Fred and Freya, let me ask you guys a question, because this is sort of the first time we've had what I would consider sort of friendly but competing factions. Let me ask the question to either one of you guys that everybody sort of wants to know. What's up with Vaughn Stewart and the gorilla outfit? How's that affecting both of your companies?
So Vaughn's been the gorilla since day one, right?
Oh. So
every single time we've had a video, Vaughn's been on the set. He's been the gorilla every single time.
Excellent.
Is he allowed to take the suit off in between videos?
It's tough to get the thing on, and once you kind of experience it, you don't want to put it back on. It's kind of like childbirth. You got to wait a year or two to forget the pain. So you don't. Once you take it off, you don't put it back on.
Freya, what's the reaction to that? What's the counter argument to that?
Hey, look, Vaughn's a super guy. It was all for fun. Vaughn is a great competitor. We have a lot of respect for him. There's been a lot of questions. Is Vaughn coming to EMC? And the answer is absolutely. He's not going anywhere. He's doing a great job where he is. It's just a little friendly nudge on the internet. He's been the gorilla for 3 years. So we've just released that out to the public to let everybody know that Vaughn's been the gorilla. So logic would have it, if he's been the gorilla for 3 years, why would he all of a sudden come to EMC? And the answer is he's not. Yeah. He's just a good competitor and a good friend. I count Vaughn as a great friend of mine.
And an excellent gorilla.
Well,
and he is a good gorilla.
I mean, the other interesting piece about the gorilla stuff is, like you guys mentioned earlier, will Vaughn show up at the San Diego Zoo in the gorilla outfit? Freya, are you arranging that?
I can't comment. I can neither confirm nor deny.
Is there a guerrilla marketing joke I'm allowed to make here?
Absolutely. So now we've hit on a little bit of the technology. Obviously, there'll be some aspect of cloud. There'll obviously be a huge aspect of what's going on with networking there. But with this show, we kind of talked about people want to know what goes on outside of the show. When you've got 25, 30, 40,000 people, there's a lot going on. What's going to be the best of social media? Where's the best events? I know, Amy, you've got an event. Colin's got an event. People are doing stuff. What's the cool things to do outside of if you're tied to the show?
Well, and the beauty is the event that Colin's running, a run for charity, is on the same day. So it's on Tuesday at 8 a.m.
Okay.
So you can run, and then you can come to the waffles and bacon tweet up that we've been threatening to do forever, and it's finally coming to fruition.
Okay.
So that happens at 9:30 on Tuesday night, and there's a tweet bite out in the Twitterverse. So sign up so that we can get your rasher of bacon reserved.
Okay, so we'll have that in the show notes. So basically, show starts on Sunday or Monday?
Starts on Monday.
Okay, so you've got all day Monday to kind of get yourself mentally prepared. Tuesday morning, get up, or just stay up. Go
Sure.
run with Colin. He's doing a cool charity thing for Wounded Warrior. Colin, how far do you have to run? Hopefully not very far.
So we have a couple distances available. So 5 kilometers, which is the longest distance we're offering, which is just over 3 miles. That being said, it is an out and back. So if you want to do a mile as a fun walk, fun run, the whole idea here is get out, get active, do one thing healthy in a week full of destroying our bodies. Instance that night, go and put some waffles and bacon in there.
All right.
But also really benefiting a good cause. Wounded Warriors, helping our servicemen who've given close to ultimate sacrifice, lost limbs, had some disabilities, reintegrate into the world and the workforce.
Okay, very
Hey,
cool.
Colin, thank you for your service, brother.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, Fred, I know when you do the thing at VMworld is always sponsored for Wounded Warrior, so it's cool that you guys are both doing that. And Joe, I know you're a former service guy as well, and actually for some ungodly reason you've become healthy. So a bunch of
It
weird
all ties
connections
together.
there.
It all
Hey,
ties-
hey, Colin, this is Fred. Can we donate money if we don't want to run?
Absolutely. So a couple things going on. So I have at colinmcnamara.com right now. The top post is a page talking about the Wounded Warriors. We have a Facebook group. If you can like it, so get the word out. There's a link on the page, on the Facebook page, that goes to our Wounded Warrior site. $1 on up. Every dollar counts. Very easy. And also, I've thrown up an iPod Touch as a giveaway. So if you like it and comment, I can see who you are. And that's an entry to giving away the Touch. And then for each dollar you put in, it's another basically ticket in the giveaway. We're going to draw a random number or a random number out of that at the close of Cisco Live and give that away. And I just found out an hour ago that Nelson Wang from VMware is throwing up a $50 Amazon gift card. So definitely, even if you're not running, anything you can do to contribute. It's a worthy cause. And even if you're going to get out there, walk a mile, it's a great beachfront walk. Beachfront run walk goes right past the Midway, some tall sailing ships. It's a beautiful day. Great way to start the day.
And if this is Amy, so if you think I can outrun Freya, you should donate. I'm just saying, I look at all donations as a affirmation that I'm going to, in fact, outrun Freya. That's my goal.
All right, good. And listen, if you're a listener of the podcast,
Nice. So, Amy, you wait to have connection issues to then do some smack talk. Not fair at all.
You can hold my purse. It's totally fine.
Hey-o.
Hey,
so
and then we're having a run to the spa for charity event.
it'll be a run and sit.
which consists of manis, petties, and massage, and it all goes to the Vanessa Fund for Christian Louboutins and Manolo Blahniks.
It'll
To be
be Manny
determined.
Betty.
She gives, and she gives.
The other thing is, since this is out in San Diego, home of Anchorman, study up your lines. If you can recite more than 2 or 3 lines, you can find Amy Lewis on the floor, sort of recite 2 or 3 lines. She's given out T-shirts. She's given out all sorts of stuff. So find her, create a hashtag for it, and have some fun around the Anchorman stuff as well for San Diego. All right, so let's get into some real stuff. So you guys you live in this industry. You live and breathe the industry. You're going out. You obviously have a connection to Cisco. Let's do this. This is sort of our forecasting part of the show. We do this about once a year. Cisco's got $40 billion in cash, right? Sort of $40 billion in cash. So Chambers gets up, goes to do his keynote. What's the most outrageous thing you can see him doing with $40 billion in cash? What sort of announcement could you see him making that would just completely blow this show away?
So real or fake?
It can be anything you want. Realistic, not realistic. What would you do with $40 billion in cash?
He's going to buy Novell for their network architecture.
Bailout Greece.
Can you see him making an enormous sort of announcement around that?
What's interesting, it's all in Europe. So the tax, all these major manufacturers, HP, Cisco, IBM, they're all lobbying for that tax holiday, the 5% repatriation. So, the challenge on that, there's a lot of great American companies that have generated a lot of value. And if you look at their last major acquisition was Tandberg, right? It was pretty much the only decent company that had an adjacent product. They're like, oh, great, you do video. We'll buy you. I think right now, unless the tax holiday gets pushed through, they're stuck acquiring European companies.
Yeah. Nobody's got any great ideas for what he could do with $40 billion?
Buy Twitter.
Goodbye, Twitter.
Nice.
It'd be interesting. Buy Red Hat, get access to a lot of open source developers.
Okay, that'd be good. You could open an office here in RTP. We know some folks who would enjoy that.
I've said this for a while now. I think honestly they should buy Salesforce.com.
Yeah,
that's smart.
It's the only layer that actually matters that would almost complete Cisco as an end-to-end solution. I mean, of course, they're still missing the storage part, but I think today they should be focusing on the application layer and not so much on the infrastructure.
Okay. So Vanessa's betting on Salesforce. Colin's betting on a Greek bailout.
Joe's betting on Novell.
Joe's betting on Novell.
I'm betting the farm on Novell.
Freya, are you betting on? Are you betting on a NetApp acquisition?
Well, I was thinking more if they've got all the money in Europe, maybe they're going to do a big Cisco Live attendee appreciation announcement with European vacations for everyone. But
that would be good. It'd be like an Oprah episode. Everybody gets to go to Europe. That'd be kind of fun.
Put a telepresence in every man, woman, and child's home.
Okay.
Mine was simpler. I was going UCS made totally of bacon. That's engineering at work.
Slots of UCS that cook bacon.
Yes, exactly.
It's kind of interesting with all the rumors of buying a storage manufacturer, but there's been a really great partnership between Cisco and NetApp around FlexPod. That's very successful and very, I think, mutually successful. And if you look at where vSpecs is coming out right now, I've seen a lot of the same success. So does Cisco have to buy a storage partner to still have success?
So basically what you're saying is they're putting their money behind Switzerland, which comes back to that European thing again.
It's true, because they would lose a gorilla. I mean, basically, you buy a company, you lose a gorilla. So
yeah, that's true. They would lose the gorilla aspect by NetApp. Okay, so this is going to be the part of the show where, since I think, and I might be wrong, Colin, you may actually be able to do this. I think Vanessa's the only one that gets to be an analyst, right? You're the only one who may potentially get to ask John Chambers questions. Is that correct?
Yeah. Oh, I don't know. I'm sorry. Is it someone else?
Well, no, the CCI NetVet, there's a CCI NetVet reception at 5:30 on a Tuesday. Okay. Every year, basically, the 40 top principals around the world go and grill him and the SVPs for an hour.
Oh, awesome. All right, so with that in mind, we've come up with a list of questions that we think you may want to ask John Chambers, right? So anybody can ask him about product roadmaps or what he's going to do with this $40 billion in cash. I want to get your reaction to these top 10 questions. Number 1, do you plan to turn off the internet during your keynote so people will pay attention in the audience?
No.
Okay. Number 2, last week was National IPv6 Day. What happened to IPv5?
Better question. What happened to IPv6?
Well, that's
need to get Ed Horley to have a nice long conversation about Cisco and IPv6. It's there, and there's a giant wall of water coming towards all of us.
Cisco's predicted that 90% of all internet traffic will be video within the next 2 to 3 years. What do you think's the best kind of internet video traffic?
Porn.
Cats.
Yeah.
Cats, sure, yeah.
Cat porn.
Training videos.
The internet is for porn. Avenue Q video.
On a side note, don't you wonder why cloud service providers aren't using porn companies as case studies? Or you don't see them anywhere in those NASCAR customer slide?
I'm working on V-blocks tailored to the porn industry right now.
Let's do a case study on that.
I'm in.
It'll be the most downloaded case study in history.
That's right.
Yeah, that's funny.
And the biggest letdown.
That being said, the first DS3 I ever saw was at a porn ISP. They do have some really good technology.
South Florida or
Van Nuys.
Yeah, Van. There you go.
You were
They
there for the article.
really have to have performance, right? I mean, let's face it.
Yeah, it's good bandwidth.
Hey-o.
Anyway.
Cisco just announced the ASR 5500, which is sort of the mother of all mobile access routers. So 2 questions, John. Number 1, Can we now blame Cisco if my iPhone is slow, or do we still blame AT&T? And number 2, at full capacity, does it get hot enough to fry bacon?
That's obviously real interesting.
Actually, you should see if you can set up a demo in which you actually fry bacon on some piece of Cisco equipment. That's your
or
thing.
if we, yeah, I think we're going to work on that.
I think you should work with your chief demo officer, Grubman, right? He's still around.
Jim Grubb could do that. He's the chief demo guy, right?
He seems like a guy who would like bacon.
He would like bacon. I would think that. All right, so speaking of bandwidth, John, do you know anybody that can give me better quality of service for my next Netflix streaming?
I think you're going to have to look to the porn case studies for that.
You could. Well, it all comes back to similar stuff. Do you ever mention to other CEOs that you know all their router passwords, just at dinner? I want Vanessa to ask this one, like, seriously. Do you have anybody other than Mario, Prem, and Luca on your iPhone favorites list? So here's the real question. Do you think those guys show up this week? The guys from Insieme who are guaranteed $850 million or whatever it is?
Absolutely. I heard an interesting rumor that there's been some sightings around the campuses lately, as a more than just the occasional meeting.
Yeah, so I think that'll be an interesting one. I think being able to get the golden ticket to be able to go and see the NDA demo of that product, the whatever Insieme is making software-defined something networking will be pretty interesting this time. Last question, John. Do you mind if I record this interview on the flip camera? Is that wrong?
That's cruel.
He used to love it. All right, so let me kind of wrap up a little bit. Well, actually, so those are my sort of top 7 or 8. Anybody have any other good questions they'd ask John if they get a one-on-one or they get a crowd opportunity with him?
I got a couple, Brian.
All right, Fred.
So, why does an orange light always have to be bad?
There you go.
How about if you could be any layer in the ISO stack, which layer would you be? Or ask him what's the favorite thing the cloud can do other than store his pictures. or lastly, does he use telepresence to ask his own kids to pass the salt to the dinner table?
Yeah, I like the last one. In fact, that would actually be a good demo.
If I could interview him, my final thing would be, thanks, John. My name is Fred Nix, and I use a lot of internet.
We're working on it. Fred,
wink,
for those of
wink, 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 wink. You know what I mean? Know what I mean?
For those of you who don't know, so Josh Atwell, who's not able to join us, is going to serve as our roving reporter this year. So be on the lookout for a redheaded dude with a beard, because he's coming your way to ask questions. But Fred has also graciously agreed to interview, stalk, well, however it's a fine line.
He's there to increase morale.
He's increasing morale at Cisco Live this year, because we were like, is morale high enough? We don't have a gorilla. Yeah. So he's bringing it.
So look for Fred, look for Josh, who's a little guy with a red beard, and look for Amy. And
I'll be the one tweeting.
All right. So sort of last question. We'll wrap this up because it's getting late for everybody. What are you most looking forward to at Cisco Live, and/or where can people come find you if they want to hang out? Hopefully they got some stuff out of this show. Where are you guys going to be around? What are you looking forward to most?
The thing I'm looking forward to most is figuring out which of the vendors that are marketing cloud actually have anything to do with the cloud.
That's fair. That's fair.
There's Joe, keeping it real.
Joe, I think Joe should be like the guy who goes around and throws blood on fur. Like you should be throwing around buckets. You should be throwing around buckets of soap. Cloud washing.
I'm pretty sure Joe is chief
I'll make
morale
sure that I
officer at
stay away
WWT.
from him.
Yeah.
So, one thing I look forward to every year, it's, we interact with a lot of people on Twitter, on Facebook, and a lot of us throughout the industry, maybe through email, even phone. And it's really the one time that all of us in the networking industry really get to see each other,
Yeah.
and see each other face to face as humans. So definitely looking forward to that. And you'll find me in classes, in meetings, but also at the Nexus booth. We'll have a 10x20 there showing all sorts of technology.
Very cool. So yeah, for anybody who's sort of hardcore networking, obviously dudes like Colin know their stuff. The guys from Packet Pushers, who are sort of friends of the show, are coming out. So Greg and who else?
Greg and Ethan.
Greg
yeah,
and Ethan
are going to
from-
be with us at the show, and they're going to be interviewing people. We're going to have them around. They're going to come out to the social media lounge, the bloggers lounge. So we got lots of social media and networking firepower in one place.
Yeah, so those guys will be fired up about software-defined networking and cloud and network design, and so cool. So Joe or Vanessa or Freya, what else is on your list of things that you want to make sure you do or you think is going to be really cool next week?
You know, I have to admit, I am jazzed about the bacon and waffle tweet up. I've never combined those together, but got to go for it.
There you go. I think what it's it's got to be like most you can eat, and what other tricks are you having at the bacon and waffle tweet up?
Well, there is a bacon balm as a door prize, so
Okay.
you can. I mean,
You
who
can
wouldn't
taste
show up
like
for
bacon.
that? Yeah.
Okay. All right. Vanessa, what about you other than spa?
So kind of to Joe's point, I mean, I think it'll be interesting to see the vendors who are there, but I look forward to seeing, what kind of startups are emerging, right? And I think the storage space and the virtualization space have seen a lot of action in the startup space. I feel like the network really hasn't seen much, and I've seen a little bit in the WAN space and some like network performance startups as well. But I'm interested in seeing who's there. Right? I don't want to see like the usual suspects anymore. I'd like to see something more innovative in the network, and so I'm hoping that I see that next week.
Okay, so all the guys that have the little booths on the side of the show floor, basically.
Yeah, that's where innovation starts, in my opinion.
Cool. Fred, what about you, man? Any cloud freaky follow-up stuff?
Not this trip, but I'm excited about my first Cisco Live. So I'm a Cisco Live virgin. I'm excited about that.
Good.
And just hoping to meet a lot of people that I see on Twitter, and meet them. Some folks that I know from Twitter face to face. Some people that I've talked to on Twitter for years, and I'll get to meet them face to face for the first time. And I'm excited about that.
Very cool. Amy?
Well, bacon and waffles is like a dream come true for me as well. I'm
Right.
really looking forward to the charity fun run, and meeting everybody. We've got lots and lots of stuff going on to sort of connect the dots and have people meet in real life. So looking forward to meeting the Twitterverse.
Very cool. So, yeah, I think as much as these shows are about technology, they're 99% about networking and getting to know people and learning stuff, and so that part will be very, very cool. So I'm going to wrap this up. Thank you to everybody for the time, and for anybody listening, this realistically is a little bit of what it's like when folks are hanging out at these shows. It's a little bit chaotic. It's a little bit of just random stuff you'll run into. A lot of really good, smart people. So for everybody that was on today, for Freya, for Amy, for Vanessa, and of course Fred, Colin, and Joe, thanks everybody for the time today. You can follow us on Twitter at @thecloudcastnet. You can find us on the web at thecloudcast.net. Of course, you can get the show on iTunes and on Stitcher. And if you want to check out our YouTube page, there's a bunch of videos that will go over all the technologies we talk about on a weekly basis. So thanks to everybody for being on the show, and have a great weekend.